Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another test video this time in a 1997. Let me just see. Yeah, 1997 uh, EuroVan camper cluster. This is for Thomas Lee. For obvious reasons, I'm covering his information. Let me just see where he's from. He's from Centennial CO. All right, so yeah, I'm reproducing his concerns. I have everything now power up, and as you can see, I can actually even turn the lights on. And if I turn everything off, you can see the actual meters are powering up like light wise, but nothing is indeed happening. And this is exactly his concern. So he's writing here, this is an instrument cluster from 1997 EuroVan camper. The cluster shows no life most of the times, except on very warm days. It turns on temporarily, but now very rarely. Thank you in advance. All right, so I'm going to take these apart and see what we see. I'm very familiar with this. I can probably say that I'm an expert on these instrument clusters, and I have all parts in stock. There's stepper motors on this instrument cluster are almost impossible to find and very expensive when you do. I have bought a big assortment of it. The only way to drop the price down to give a little bit of a, I don't know, fair price to the customer because otherwise it was impossible to work on this. But yep, so I have everything needed, voltage regulators, capacitors, diodes, resistors, ICs. So I have everything that needs to be replaced in order to put this to function. So we'll see, as long as it's not a very burned board, it's most definitely going to be repaired. All right, so let me open it up and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished the repair. I haven't still put the instrument cluster completely back because I want to make sure that, everything's properly working. This is how the internals on this cluster looks for those that haven't seen other videos. This is a little different. Again, this is a 1997. They use a ground on where the newer ones will have the meal. So this is an extra ground that has to be connected onto that pin for the cluster to work properly. Again, this was a completely dead, non-operational instrument cluster from Thomas Lee. Again, that's the description we saw before, right? So going to power up, we will hear a sound which is very sensitive, zeroing the needles since right now I have no power. This is like you disconnecting the battery from the vehicle, right? So here we go. Hope that can catch up. And now we got mileage, very low mileage, 59,000 miles. So that's actually really good. And then next is ignition. That will put the prindle, and it is. All the lights comes on, and that is perfect. Perfect behavior. I don't have the upper lights on, but we'll see the turn signals and the high beam on this time, and that is working again properly. All right, so let's put some speedometer at idle. We're not going to see how many miles per hour is now reading, but we can see there is indeed moving. I'm going to change now the temperature and the fuel, these two, and they move properly too. It's nice and smooth. And now let me put, I had to use a combination of tool for this. I'm gonna set this to 50 hertz. I have it. Let me change this, no, not there, to 50. All right, and then I'll put control, and that should make it move, and it did. So we can see now, I'm going to turn it off. So you can see that in there, going to 0, and it did. So yeah, I'm going to put everything back together like that. I can check the lines. I already put the new balls installed on the upper section, so all should be working good. But yeah, Thomas Lee, your cluster is now back to life and working 100%. So let me just put it all together, clean it up, and do a retest with all the needles set up, because I have to do the settings, the 0 setting for all the needles. So again, all right, guys, I put everything back together. Let's power up. Again, every time we power up, needles are going to be reset to 0. We got clock and miles speedometer showing, or miles it's showing. All right, so the ignition on, preamble is on. Let's see the temperature and fuel gauge move. All right, that's nice and smooth. Let's put the speed to, let me see. Oh, I have it at 30 miles an hour. And that's one thing I want to show is the hertz I have. Well, this is my website for those who wants to visit the website. I have did some changes to make it easier to just contact me. This is what you should do if you're sending anything to me. Just go over to my website, MikeSalazarDiagnostics.com, and that's the way my name, Mike, spells. It's just the way it sounds in Spanish. I'm from Costa Rica. For those that don't know, that's my beautiful country origins. Um, and then just click the contact button and that will start a conversation with me. All right, so what I am having right now is, as you can see, 44 hertz is 30 miles an hour, and that's exactly what we have. That little dip in the signal is because of the signal that I'm providing. It has a notch. I use it for some other things that works good. All right, let me now put RPM, and that should be 100 hertz. And 100 hertz, as you can see, is 2000 RPMs, and that is right in the money. I took a picture of all the lights. Everything is working good. All the lights in the cluster, bulbs, and everything is brand new. So the cluster is indeed working properly. I'm going to increase the temperatures so we can see this is going to start blinking very, very soon. As the temperature rises, we will see a warning lamp in here, and it did. Perfect. All right, so I can get that out. And I'm going to reset the needles to 0. That will temperature will come down after. Perfect. All right, let me go over to 10 miles per hour, which is in my simulator 10 hertz. Sorry, 14 hertz, which is the minimum I can go with this. And we have the 10 miles an hour. Let me move this to 50. And that will make this go the RPM to, I don't have my glasses on me, to 10 miles an hour. I'm sorry, 10,000 RPM, sorry. And that is indeed working 100%. I can turn this off and that should make that one go to 0. And we can do the same thing with the speedometer. All is working good, nice and smooth. Again, ignition. I'm just not going to turn the whole cluster again. Not necessary to do that, but I like to put a few tests with the same thing so we can all see, and Thomas can see that his cluster is working all good. Again, nice and smooth. Speed. And let me put the RPMs. All working 100% and calibrated. So all calibrations, all operations on this instrument cluster is now working 100%. Thomas, this is your instrument cluster. Good to go. I will be contacting you shortly to collect payment and send this your way as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your business. For all that are visiting the channel and wants to enjoy watching this, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.